Okay, so we're now looking at how concretely you can work up your idea with your own colleagues. We'd suggest that at this point what you want to do is to try to clarify the main problems or obstacles or issues for your organisation and its work. Try to distinguish between problems related to the internal functioning of your organisation, that's to say how it works, and its external activity for a particular territory or group. In other words, what it does. Now, what you need to do then is to try to identify among these problems, obstacles or issues, try to identify any elements in them that could be addressed through an exchange with international partners. If you follow this kind of questioning, then you will be able to identify the key themes and the ideas that you may want to propose for transnational cooperation. So let's see how this works in practice by looking at the next slide. It gives an example, a simple example of a labour office or public employment service. Now, on the left hand side we have a series of issues, and on the right hand side we've got corresponding possible transnational ideas. So if we look at the issues, we have got, for example, an organisation, a labour office, which considers that its approach to youth unemployed from minority communities is not working well. So it's got a problem in this area. Now the same organisation is aware that interventions in this same area in the Netherlands and Belgium are considered to be successful. So there we have an issue, and there's a potential transnational opportunity for this particular organisation to try to address its problem. We take a second example on the second row, which is that the Labour Office's experience with developing work placements for unemployed graduates is actually very positive, and it is currently running a programme called European Opportunities Programme for young graduates, which involves placing them in companies for short periods of time to get work experience. Now, this is something this organisation is doing well. But they are also aware that in certain countries, such as France and Germany, there actually is quite a big problem in getting graduate unemployed persons into work placements and into work. And they wonder whether the French and Germans must be doing something wrong. So if we take these two issues together for this particular organisation, we could come to a simple conclusion, which is that the organisation potentially could offer something and learn something in an exchange with a similar body from France, Belgium or the Netherlands. Now we're going to take another example, and these examples, both of them are based on real cases. In this next example we're dealing with an organisation responsible for the funding and promotion of science and technological research and innovation in Romania. And we're going to assume in this example that the organisation has a role to play in giving finance to scientific and technological organisations, giving structural funds to them to promote innovation. So this organisation is starting to use structural funds to support the knowledge economy, but it is unsure where to invest and where structural funds can be absorbed. It doesn't have the appropriate institutional conditions in place to get suitable large projects, and especially in certain difficult areas such as science and technology parks and university private sector innovation clusters. These are areas where it's notoriously difficult and takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to develop appropriate projects. Now, this problem for this Romanian organisation might be susceptible of some kind of solution through transnational cooperation, because the organisation knows that in Ireland there's been a lot of success in moving the country from a largely agricultural and low-level industrial economy to a modern knowledge-based science and technology-based economy. And they know that in both parts of Ireland, the state, that's to say the public authority, has developed many programmes and been active in major projects in this area. So the Romanian side is wondering what the Irish are doing in terms of policy, strategy and intervention instruments, and how these have worked. So if we just look at this problematic, we could conclude that the Romanian side might consider getting involved in a cooperation with the Irish in this area. Certainly it seems there's something they could learn, but they're going to have to think of what they can offer in return, because there has to be something in this for the Irish, and perhaps some knowledge of Romanian markets or some possible cooperation between companies and Romanian companies, between Irish companies and Romanian companies, may help. So working in this way and following the logic of these examples, we would ask you to download the document indicated in the program, in the module, and try then to work out your own ideas in the same manner.